Nathan Davis, Victor Monroy. This is Chatter Up. Hey guys, Nathan with Chatter Up, Victor with Chatter Up.
What's up,
Guys, we're
guys?
on episode 4 now. Yeah,
Yes,
what's up,
episode
guys?
4.
As you guys can tell, it looks like we're in the same screen, but we're not. But it's a cool feature on Zoom that Victor found last second. I'm said we're rolling with it. So,
Absolutely.
guys, let's just get right into it. The MLB has finally accepted on some rules changes that will be happening. And of course, if you guys watched episode 1 of Chatter Up, we discussed rule changes that could possibly and potentially happen. And our predictions on some of those have actually come true.
They have. All right, guys. So as you guys
I'm
know,
like,
in episode one, we talked about the universal DH and how we both like the idea of having universal DHs. And guys, it is here, the era of the pitchers hitting. For some people, it's gonna be sad to hear this, but it's over.
yeah,
All right. Myself,
over.
I actually enjoyed the idea of having DHs because pitchers weren't having competitive at bats. If pitchers would have had competitive at bats, I would have hated this rule change. But the fact is that pitchers really haven't added that much of interesting aspect into the game, unless you saw us on TikTok where Nene shared the greatest moment of pitchers hitting in baseball history, which was Bartolo Colon's home run. Man, that was amazing. But
In San Diego.
other than that, we only have a few great um hitting pitchers. It's like it could be a handful. If you take Shohei Ohtani out of the question, out of the equation, sorry, out of the equation, you would only have Madison Bumgarner, Zach Greinke, and Jacob DeGrom. Other than that, it's really non-competitive. So yeah,
Max Fried. Max Fried had a walk-off single last year on a pinch hit. Our Braves are not our guy who closed it out in Game 6 of the World Series during the regular season had a walk-off single.
Hey, there you go.
Pinch hitter, kind of awesome.
Yeah, but the DH
and
is
Zach Greinke also had a base hit in the World Series.
He had two, bro. He had two.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh,
he had two. Yeah, but so the era of pitchers hitting is over. Here comes the era of the universal DH. So we told you guys to look forward to that. So what else did we predict, Nene?
We also predicted a pitch clock. A pitch clock has now been instituted for 20 seconds. There's also something else me and Victor are going to have to look into about a 14-second or a 19-second type clock. But the pitch clock has now been instituted into Major League Baseball. 20 seconds. Basically, it's like a play clock in football and basketball. Pitchers have a certain amount of time to pitch the ball. And I'm assuming by rules that we have in amateur baseball, if we enforce that rule, it is a ball or a ball for the pitcher. And if the batter doesn't do it, which I'm assuming they're going to have to throw that in there because that's in the rule book too. If batters don't step in the box within, that could be the 14th second. That wouldn't surprise me. If the 14th second is for the batters, then it's a strike charge to them. So pitch clock's going to happen. I think it's good. Speeds up the game.
Yep.
And helps out with that. Now, if there's like cross confusion, I was telling Victor pre show that high school baseball, they instituted a rule this year where pitchers can no longer look into the dugout, get the sign. They have to get it from the catcher. And there's starting to be some relay issues between the dugout and the catcher that I've noticed as umpiring high school baseball. So that's one thing that I think. What's your thoughts on the pitch clock?
My thoughts on the pitch clock is thank goodness that it's here. I think it's going to really help the game of baseball. I can't stand watching pitchers just go about their business in a very slow way. I loved watching Mark Burley pitch because he was fast. He would grab the ball and let's go. But it's gonna be there's gonna be some resistance. There's going to be people who like it, people who don't like it. I know Chris Sale is gonna love it because Chris Sale is the type of guy that just grabs the ball and just wants to chug it right away. But there are other Yeah, but
I would throw Max Scherzer into that too.
yeah, Max Scherzer is also like that. But there are other pitchers that take their time, that like to take their time, and it's because of you guys that we're doing it. So please, this is one way of controlling the tempo of the game to have more action in the game. And I think that that's actually going to be very beneficial. That said, about there has been some confusion because I believe the MLB originally proposed
Yeah.
a 14 second pitch clock and a 19-second pitch clock. 14 seconds with nobody on base, 19 seconds with runners on base. And I actually don't mind that. I don't think I think 14 is too fast, but I think if
Mhm.
it's implemented properly, I believe that it's achievable. But I think 20 seconds should be just fine.
Yeah. Now here's another thing. They're gonna have to in the MLB ballparks, they're gonna have to put the clock somewhere in view of the pitcher, and then of course somewhere in view for the batter, catcher, and umpire too.
Mhm.
Because if you don't let them see that, then what's going on? Because if the umpire sees it, he can look at the pitch clock, say, okay, 20 seconds up, that's a ball on the pitcher.
Yeah.
Helps the batter. I mean, can't help it. We got to enforce the rules, and this isn't a rule. This is actually people. I'm going to say it's been a rule. It's been a rule in baseball for a long, long
Yeah.
time, and now it's finally coming to fruition of being forced.
Yeah.
So
I think that it's going to be very good. I think that the one thing that has to be looked at and really looked at it has to be thoroughly looked at. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. But it's the hitter aspect, because
yeah,
there are two possible ways I can see this happening. One, it's an automatic strike if the hitter isn't on in the batter's
Yes,
box
by rule.
at a certain time, because I can see some guys trying to cheat the system and they'll be in the batter's box with 19 seconds, and then they'll get in right when the 20 seconds are up, and then that's a ball. I don't think that. I think that they should have like, okay, batter needs to be in
in
the
the box fully
in the
for that
box. Thank
clock
you.
to start. Yeah,
In the box. I think I will give it 5 to 10 seconds tops if there's going to be a 20-second pitch clock for the batter to be in the box.
yeah.
And there will also have to be, or the other possibility is the pitch clock just runs. And if the batter isn't on the in the batter's box, pitcher can just throw whenever. And I think that
should be
that's
a fair
one way
rule,
of
yeah.
enforcing the rules. Okay, you have 13, you have 10 seconds to get in the box. After 10 seconds, the pitcher can go whenever he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds pretty good, and I think it will speed up the game. I think
Mhm.
it will make the game more fun and enjoyable, because now it's like now it's adding more to that cat and mouse aspect of pitcher versus hitter. So just more mind games to throw out there, and let's let her rip tater chip, as I like to say. So
Yeah.
let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
Another rule that was instituted that we did not predict, however, was enlarging the bases. Now, how that's going to work, I don't know. We'll see when that time comes next season in 2023 when they institute that. That's when it will roll. I think with the bases, I don't know how you're going to make them. I guess they're going to try to make them puffier, more soft. So I don't. In a large, it's reducing risk of injury because
For what I've
who was it in
read,
the playoffs? Was it?
For what I've
Yeah,
read,
go ahead.
they're going to try and make them less injury prone, especially first base, which is probably the back that a lot of players get injured with. The most. But what I've read is that they're going to try and make it about twice as big. Meaning, right now the base. Let me look up how big the bases are.
No, I can tell you the only one I know is home plate, 17 and a half inches across.
Yeah.
And that's all you need to know for strike zone.
Yeah, but I think they're gonna make it twice as bigger. Twice as bigger, and I think that it's gonna be also more cushiony, so that way when hitters touch the bag, they don't slip and fall as much, or they don't receive such a hard impact, because I believe they made a study that the bags have actually caused more injuries than other than other I would say appliances, but it's not the proper word. Equipment. That's
Play
equipment.
equipment. Yeah.
Yeah, other equipment. So yeah, but I liked it. I really liked. I would much rather have them. Oh yeah, the bases are 15 inches wide. They're probably gonna try and make it. I think it was 25 inches.
Ooh.
25 inches width and length. So
Hmm.
I think that's what I read. I might be mistaken. If you guys know, please let us know in the comments. But what I would have liked for them
Yep.
to do is it's first base. I think the worst bag is first base. I think that's the biggest issue.
Yeah.
And I would have liked them to have the double bases, as they
Yep.
do in
You
softball.
can have that in amateur baseball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that way, the rule of oh my gosh, when the runner is obstruction, the obstruction rule can be easily
Yeah.
enforced, because that way you say, okay, this is your lane, this is your bag. If you
Yeah.
get anywhere close to the original base,
That first one.
you're
Yeah.
absolutely you're
Yeah.
automatically out. So I think
Yeah.
that's a better way of implementing.
Here's the
But
thing
that's
though,
just me.
because how I've seen it in because I've umpired. Okay, guys, don't harass me. I've only umped 3 games of softball. It's because it's boring. Amateur
Hey,
softball
hey,
is like not. Hey, I'm not
eh,
dissing softball in general, but like at the amateur level at rec league, bro,
okay,
it's
yeah,
hard to umpire because you just sit there. But how they normally have it is like the bag is like usually they're
attached.
right down the middle, so they're both attached really. And what I would say is if they do the double first base, which would be an awesome thing,
Mhm.
as an umpire, from an umpire standpoint, you have a lot of these MLB umpires who have been umping 40, 50 years in the game. It's going to be hard for them to try to look at 2 bags and determine it out and safe, like on
That's why you
timing. But
listen.
that's
It
just
you have
me.
to listen. That's why you use the sound.
And then, yeah, and that's the thing in umpiring school, wherever you learn how to umpire, they tell you listen, use the sounds to your advantage. So that's one thing. Another rule change. This is a big one, actually, guys, and this is one that's going to help baseball in the long term. I think now we're on par with the other leagues in it, expanded playoffs, but they have not agreed to what they're going to do. There's a 12-team playoff format and a 14-team playoff format that they're debating against. How they would do the 12, there was several reasons. I would still like
The
to have it
12,
one
the
place
12 would be
6.
just the same as they would be the football playoffs, which means the top 2 seeds of
No, they
each.
football made it 14 now.
Yeah, so they're trying to implement that. Like football originally had the top 2 seeds. I believe got bye weeks, and then the other teams
Hmm.
played against each other.
Yeah.
But now what football does is only the top team gets the bye week, and then the other seeds have
Hmm.
to play. Two plays
Yeah.
6, I believe. Two plays 6, no, two plays 7,
Yep.
three plays 6, 4, and 5. I believe that's how it goes. And then
Yeah.
one
That's
takes the
correct.
winner of takes the lowest
In
rank.
football, it's the lowest seed.
Yeah.
Lowest seed that's available plays one.
Yeah. So
So,
that I think that's how they're going to
the
do
other
it, and I
thing-
like it.
Yeah, I think 12 or 14 does not matter in
It
baseball.
makes
It works.
it
But
makes
there
the
was
game more
something-
competitive.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. They were also at one point bargaining, and I don't know if this is true or I know it's true, but like I don't know if the players ever signed off on it. Was the whole fact of the best teams picking who they play, the top 2 picking who they play. And I'm
I don't like
sitting
that.
there like that would be cool for a lot of aspects if your division rivals
Yeah.
made it to the playoffs and you pick them because you have beef with them. That would be cool. But in all fairness, there's reasons why teams have records.
Yeah.
And there's reasons why the best team plays the worst team that's out of the bunch that have made the playoffs. And last year, case in point, my Atlanta Braves were the team in the whole playoffs, American League, National League. Worst of the record, we win the World Series.
Yeah.
So baseball is always the most unpredictable sport.
That is true. That is true. But yeah, I like the idea of 12 or 14 team format. I loved it when they
Yep.
did. I believe it was 8 teams from each. In the 2020
I
was
forget what they
16.
did in
16. Sorry,
2020.
they did full 6 teams, right?
Yeah.
From each.
Yeah, it
from
was 8
each,
and 8.
from each league, 8-8, right? It was 16 playoffs.
Yeah,
And I loved it because
8-8
there
3-game
were-
divisional
we
series.
saw the Marlins getting into the playoffs when nobody thought they would even have a chance.
And that was a lot of nobody.
And they beat the Cubs. And they beat the Cubs to advance.
I know.
So a
And
lot
then
of
the
people.
the Braves ended up beating them, sweeping
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
next round.
So I really enjoy what it brings to the game, because now teams who are in that middle, in that middle ground, like, should we rebuild or should we go for it? Now actually have a chance. You know what? Let's
Yeah.
make the playoffs. We can make the playoffs. There are teams like the Mariners who haven't made the playoffs since 01. I believe that's the longest playoff
Yeah.
drought in MLB right now.
Yeah.
And then after that, you have teams like the Kansas City Royals who haven't made it since 2016, and there are other teams since 2004.
The
I believe.
Rangers.
Yeah, the Rangers haven't gotten to the playoffs since those two. I don't know what you call those blunders. After those two choke jobs, after those two.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, that was terrible.
Tigers as well. You got to throw the Tigers in there too.
Yeah, Tigers as well.
Tigers.
I believe it was 2012.
So-
the Tigers, the last time they got into the playoffs. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be good, especially now the Rangers made some moves. The Rangers got
Mhm.
Corey
Simeon,
Seager and
Seager.
Marcus Simeon. So they actually have in the AL West is pretty much wide open. I'm not saying they're gonna win it,
Yeah.
but I think they have a chance of getting into the playoffs with this new format. So I like it. I really like it.
Yep. And you can throw in teams like the you can throw the Mets in there now too, because now they got Scherzer and DeGrom going 1-2. Tigers got Baez. The Tigers would be the team that interests me in this, because now they got a big name free agent. They still got Miggy, and then they got all this loads of talent they need to bring up. So,
yeah, right now the AL Central,
that's a team
the AL
that
Central is
could
White
be-
Sox. After the White Sox it's any other team can get in.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is last year everybody thought it was Twins and White Sox, and then the Twins just fell off the map. Like they did not sustain their success from the year prior, and it just was like, what is going on with the Twins? Like, oh,
Yeah.
um,
And now
yeah,
I think they're
that-
going into a rebuild now, because they gave up on Jose Barrios, they gave up
Yeah.
on Eddie Rosario. Now they don't have anybody. I mean, they had
yeah,
Kepler, they have
Donaldson.
Kepler, they have Josh Donaldson. He's not the same Josh Donaldson
pretty
anymore.
much washed up. It's
Yeah.
about time to. turn
Yeah,
something up.
but we just had Byron Buxton, but
Um,
Byron Buxton needs to walk next to he has to live next to a hospital because he's always injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that's gonna try to get it. He's gonna try to get a max deal. It's like, dude,
It's
when
not.
you're made of paper,
I
It's
can't, I
like,
can't give him a deal for
oh,
that.
how do we do it?
Yeah.
No.
But there was one rule.
Um,
There was one last rule
Oh,
that I kind of saw them talking about the basis. I think it because it had been brought up in other occasions, but this one, there are going to be a lot of happy hitters this upcoming season, especially left-handed pull hitters such as Joey Gallo or such.
just say it.
They
Just
have
say it.
they have banned the shift.
Yes.
They have banned.
Can I go
the
on a rant
shift.
for a second?
Absolutely.
Can I please?
Nene.
Can I please go on a rant about
Hey, man.
Joey Gallo?
Amen.
I
Take the
don't know
floor.
where I saw this on multiple social media outlets, people. Like, this was nuts. So Joey Gallo was talking about how the shift is hurt him as a hitter, and he was kind of basically crybabying about it so much. There was some dude, I don't know if it was a fan, a former player, former coach, is like, back in Ted Williams' day, apparently they ended up shifting him, and that same year he hit 406, won the batting title, only guy to ever hit for 400 in a season. So if you're telling me that Ted Williams learned how to outdo the shift, you guys need to dive into what he's talking about in hitting and use it. And that's what I got to say. Also, Tony Gwynn, because Tony Gwynn almost did it in 94. The strike happened right before that man had a chance to be the second guy in MLB history to hit for 400 in a season.
Hey, Nene, you just threw.
That's
Joey
my rant.
Gallo
Joey
under the
Gallo, do
bus.
better.
Ooh, My gosh, Joey
Have to.
Gallo.
I
Hey
mean,
man.
you can't just like get away with that and complain about it. And then someone says, "Oh, Ted Williams, they did it to him, and he bat 406."
Yeah, I mean, listen, Ted Williams, I think he was the last guy to hit 400, not the only guy to hit 400.
He's
I
the
believe
only
Ty
guy.
Cobb.
Only guy.
I believe Ty Cobb hit
Oh
400
yeah, Ty
once.
Cobb. That's right.
Yeah, but
Yep.
hey,
Second closest was the only closest one was Tony Gwynn in '94.
yeah, I mean, it's gonna be there's gonna be a lot of action in the bases now because there's gonna be more people. I mean, they also have to make sure that they go over what a shift is.
Yes,
Is
that's one
shifting
thing they have
shifting
not
the
said
same
yet.
thing as I believe the Astros did something that was called like fading or something like that, where they would just take the shortstop and put him right next to second base, that it's on the shortstop side. So does that count as a shift, or does that count as him just fading towards that area? Because then that would still
Yeah.
count. It would still be good placement, and I think it's really helps. But I don't like that they have that sometimes they have 4 outfielders and then 3 infielders. I no, just keep everybody in their positions and then just move them. It give the chance to those amazing fielders to make amazing plays and wow us with their abilities.
Yes.
So yeah,
I can see Javi Baez. I can see Javi
Oh,
Baez creating stuff in my head right
yes.
now. I can just see it.
Francisco Lindor
He's
as
gonna
well,
do
man.
something. So Francisco Lindor. I mean, and Dansby and Osby too, because you got to think about it. Like Dansby and Osby right now, yeah, they're world champions, but they're also one of those duos up the
Yeah.
middle that are like love making plays together. And
Yeah.
so now we get to see that.
There are
I
going to
think-
be teams. There are going to be teams that are going to have to say, okay, we can no longer have our mediocre fielders. We have to actually put good people out there. And yes, thank you. That is what we want. We want quality baseball players.
Yep. And here's the other thing too. I mean, if you think about it, apparently, okay, if the ship was back in Ted Williams' time, as I was ranting about just a second ago, how in the world had nobody not heard of it until 2007, 2008, when Joe Madden was doing it with the Tampa Bay Rays as their manager? It's another fad that Joe Madden's done that's now been complete. So, yeah, I mean, Joe Madden's done a lot of things. I think the other, you know what the other rule is about that Joe Madden that they had to do because of Joe Madden?
Yeah,
Was
the
whole,
bullpen. The bullpen.
the bullpen.
Yeah.
Because he would go get guys after every bat. I mean, 2015 World Series, granted, the Cubs probably wouldn't have won the World Series if he
2016.
hadn't done that. But, or 2016, excuse me. 2016, they wouldn't have won the World Series had he done that. But now, because of him doing that so often and it being and making a lot of people mad,
Not just
they
that,
had to change
prolonging the
the batter
games
limit.
unnecessarily.
Yeah, it did. Yep.
I don't know, man. There are a lot of rule changes. There probably have there will probably I'm sorry. There will probably be more rule changes. I am so sorry, guys. I got my tongue twisted in that. But there will probably be more changes in the future. But right now, these ones are the ones that we are really excited about.
Yeah. Really excited about, especially that playoffs and that shift. I think those two alone get people excited, and the universal DH. Now, here's the other question with the universal DH. Now, when we get out of the lockout, does that open up the checkbooks for teams to go out and get DHs?
Sure.
I was thinking about this with the Braves the other day. Now that it's happened, you think about it. The Braves, we had Jorge Soler. He did great as a DH, but there was another guy that was on our team this year that didn't get to play in the World Series because of some incident that happened off the field. What?
Oh, you're
What'd you
talking
say?
about Marcel.
Marcell Ozuna. So the Braves really don't even need to pick up Jorge Soler at this point. Move Ozuna to the, because we still have him for 3 years because of his contract now, and just move him to the DH, and so it can help bring up the guys like Drew Waters, Christian Pache, keep him on that major league roster, and other guys down the line in our outfield in the minor leagues that could really benefit from this DH now. Now, if you have a powerful hitting outfielder, move him to the DH.
But why are you moving someone? You still don't have someone to play left field.
Yeah, that's true. But if we resign, let's say we resign Rosario, we resign
Oh, you
Jock
just want
Peterson,
Eddie. Just say it. We want
and
Eddie. Just say it.
we really want Eddie.
There you
We
go.
really want
There
Eddie
you
back.
go.
Honestly, his bat fits in the lineup. And then you could either use Pache or Jock Peterson if he signed, or bring up, as I said, Drew Waters, who's a true switch hitting. I think he's a switch hitting leadoff guy pretty much. But we know the leadoff position in Atlanta is locked
Set.
down by Ronald Acuna Jr. So, bro, I keep seeing videos of this dude, and dude, he's gonna come back a beast from this ACL. I'm sorry, but he will.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't have any ACL backlash, meaning that he doesn't get injured as much as a lot of people do whenever they try to rush things. I think that they should be very
Mhm.
cautious with him, especially if Freddie Freeman isn't back as a Brave. We are keeping track of that, guys. We talk about this constantly. So whenever we have updates, we will absolutely let you know. You guys
Yeah.
might actually see Nene cry on live.
You
Not live,
might. You might.
on video.
The second
So-
Mr. Brave, and then he leaves. Oh,
So,
well,
yeah.
the Braves have had this happen once before. Right before we went on those World Series runs, and early in the 90s, Dale Murphy actually left the Braves. So this has actually happened to us before.
Yeah.
Chipper never left us. That's what made him Mr. Brave, really. But you can't really. I mean, Glavine Maddox and
Neither
Small
did
Salt went
Hank.
somewhere.
Don't take credit away from Hank.
Neither did Hank Aaron either. Hank Aaron was also a long time a Brave. Oh no, he played for the Brewers his last season in the MLB.
Oh, then never
They
mind.
were-
Sorry,
when
Hank.
Milwaukee happened.
Sorry, Hank.
Yep. But Chipper's the true Mr. Brave. He
Mm-hmm.
played all seasons with us, and Freddie Freeman probably won't be the second guy to do that. And it just hurts because the teams that are interested is Vic's Yankees and the LA Dodgers are the two main teams.
Actually,
And that's because there's
there was a rumor earlier today that said that the Tampa Bay
didn't see this.
Rays offered Freddie Freeman a contract prior to the lockdown.
what?
Can you imagine
if they
Freddie
do- if the Ra-
Freeman in
if
the
the Rays-
Rays?
If he went to the Rays, they win the World Series.
Absolutely.
Literally, because you bring a guy with caliber like him, his character and his composure is going to match well with guys like Kiermaier,
Mhm.
guys like playing with Franco and Rosarina will be like playing with Acuna and Ozzy. So that will be some familiarity with him with those two on that aspect. And Kevin Cash gets to have one of the best, not just home run power hitters, but the best overall hitters in Major League in that lineup.
Absolutely.
To go with guys like Franco, guys like that.
And
Kiermaier. Oh,
don't take
they
credit
just-
away from his defense.
oh yeah, his defense that too, and they need a good first. I mean, what are they going to do with Choi? Choi's a fun guy that we need to talk about on
Who's
defense. 'Cause
Choi?
he just does those weird. KJ, their first baseman, the Korean dude. I can't think of his name.
Choi. Yeah, Choi. I got you. Yeah.
Choi. What are they going to do with Choi? I mean, dude, if Freddie went to the Rays, that would be crazy.
Choi is more of a no. I mean this in no offense whatsoever. I generally think this is something that is unvalued. I think that this is something that you can't put value on, and because it brings the team together. But I think he's more of a kind of like a mascot-ish kind of player, meaning that he is there to improve the team morale as well as team chemistry, right? And also the fan base loves him. But if you have Freddie
same with
Freeman,
Brett Phillips.
if you have Freddie Freeman, I will never choose G-Man Choi. That's his full name. I just got it. I would never choose G-Man Choi over Freddie Freeman. Whoever does that needs to be fired. I'm sorry.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this: if Freddie did sign with the Rays, guys, I live in the Tampa Bay area. The Rays fans would love it. I 100% guarantee the Rays fans would love it.
Yeah.
Us Braves fans would be sad, but we
I
know
mean, you get
if I
to
say
see
the Braves have
Freddie
an
on a
American League-
regular basis. You live in Clearwater.
I could if I go take my 30-minute drive down to St. Pete,
It's only half
or
an
if
hour.
I work. I know, but like now, if I'm at my workplace, it's 10 minutes, so I could do that after work one day and just
Be a
head
season
over,
ticket
mosey
holder.
on over to the Trop and watch. Yeah, oh yeah, you know how much those things cost?
Now,
They're expensive.
yeah, I bet.
But yeah,
I bet.
that's crazy that the Rays offered him a contract. But that team just, to me, if the Braves had a sister team in the American League, it'd be the Tampa Bay Rays because the dynamics of the players all match
Yeah.
up.
They beat.
Trust me, the Rays are fun to watch besides Atlanta.
Yeah,
And trust me, in 2020, I wanted
it's
that
that.
Braves
It's that
Rays World
Florida
Series.
Georgia line.
Yeah. Oh. By the way, did you know they broke up?
Oh, come on, man. Let's not talk about that, please. That's
No,
another-
we can't talk about country music.
Yeah.
All right, guys. With that being said, we're having fun moments right now. You guys will see this. Victor, don't edit this out. The fans need this
All
camaraderie.
right, I got
right here.
you. I got
We'll
you.
talk to you guys later. Nathan and Victor with Chatter Up. See ya.
Bye, guys.